Let's be honest for a second. This isn't a video about lazy people. This isn't a video about kids these days. And this definitely isn't another lecture about how you should stop buying coffee. Because here's the truth. Right now, millions of young Americans are doing exactly what they believe is financially smart. They're investing. They're using apps. They're starting side hustles. They're buying crypto. They're building personal brands. They're even thinking about real estate. And yet, behind the scenes, their credit scores are quietly dropping. Their savings accounts are nearly empty. Their debt is growing faster than their income. And their long-term financial stability is being slowly, accidentally destroyed. Not because they're irresponsible, but because they were never taught how modern money systems actually work. See, today's financial traps don't look like bad decisions. They look like buy now, pay later, zero down payments, passive income apps, trading platforms, flexible credit. Everything feels affordable. Everything feels easy. Everything feels smart. Until one day, you apply for a mortgage and get denied. Part 1. The illusion of affordability. Today's financial world is built around one powerful idea. Make everything feel affordable right now. You don't need $1,000 anymore. You just need $50 a month. You don't need savings. You just need approval. And Gen Z grew up in the perfect storm of financial technology, where streaming replaced ownership, subscriptions replaced one-time payments, and installments replaced upfront responsibility. Think about it. Phones are financed. Cars are leased. Furniture is paid in installments. Clothes are bought using split payments. Even groceries can now be financed. On paper, none of these seem like major expenses. But in reality, your income isn't being spent, it's being pre-committed. Before your paycheck even arrives, it already belongs to your car payment, your phone plan, your student loans, your subscriptions, your credit card minimums, your installment purchases. This is called income fragmentation, and it's one of the biggest reasons why so many young Americans feel broke despite earning more than previous generations did at the same age. But here's where it gets dangerous. Lenders don't care how small your payments are individually. They care about something called your debt-to-income ratio. That's the percentage of your income that's already obligated to debt payments. And once that number climbs above a certain threshold, you don't just struggle financially. You become ineligible for wealth-building tools like mortgage approvals, low-interest financing, real estate investing opportunities. In other words, the very systems designed to make life easier today are quietly disqualifying you from financial growth tomorrow. Part 2. The credit trap nobody talks about. Here's something most people don't realize until it's too late. Your credit score is not a measure of responsibility. It's a measure of predictability. Banks want to know, will this person reliably make payments for years? And ironically, many of the tools Gen Z uses daily actually make them appear riskier, not safer. For example, opening multiple buy now, pay later accounts, maxing out credit cards temporarily, closing old credit lines, missing small subscription payments, using too much of their available credit. Even something as simple as having a $2,000 credit limit and carrying a $600 balance means you're using 30% of your credit, and that can lower your score. Now, imagine this happening across 2 cards, a financing account, a store payment plan, a personal loan app. Suddenly, your credit utilization skyrockets, and from a lender's perspective, you're not financially savvy, you're financially stretched, which becomes a massive problem when you decide to buy a home, invest in property, start a business, or refinance debt. Because these decisions rely heavily on your credit history, your payment behavior, your account age, and your financial consistency. And if your profile shows instability, you'll either get denied
or pay dramatically higher interest. And over time, higher interest doesn't just cost you money, it delays your entry into wealth-building assets, like real estate. Part 3. The real estate delay effect. Real estate has historically been one of the most reliable paths to long-term wealth in America. Not because homes magically make you rich, but because they force savings through equity. They grow in value over time. They allow leverage through financing. They create passive income through renting. But here's the catch. You can't access any of these benefits without approval. Mortgage lenders evaluate 3 core things: your income stability, your debt-to-income ratio, and your credit score. And if your financial profile is overloaded with installment payments, high credit usage, inconsistent payment history, short credit timelines, then even with a good salary, you might not qualify. This creates what economists call the real estate delay effect. You wait 3 more years, then 5 more years, then 7 more years. Home prices increase, interest rates change, rent keeps rising, and the cost of entry into property ownership gets higher every year you delay. Meaning, a $300,000 home today might be a $420,000 home by the time you finally qualify. And that delay doesn't just impact where you live. It impacts your retirement timeline, your net worth, your financial independence, your ability to generate rental income. Because in the US, wealth isn't just earned, it's owned.
Meet Alex. He's 26 years old, lives in Texas, and earns $72,000 a year. On paper, he's doing great. He has a steady job, he invests $200 a month into index funds, and he trades occasionally on the side. But here's what his monthly obligations look like. $480 car payment, $95 phone installment, $310 student loans, $220 credit card minimum, $140 in buy now, pay later payments, and $85 in subscriptions. Total monthly debt obligations? Around $1,330. Now Alex decides he wants to buy a $350,000 home. When the lender reviews his file, they calculate his debt-to-income ratio. With taxes and other obligations included, his DTI crosses the safe lending threshold. Result? He doesn't qualify. Not because he's irresponsible, not because he doesn't earn enough, but because too much of his income is already committed. So instead of building equity, Alex keeps renting for another 4 years, while home prices rise and interest compounds. That's how accidental financial delay turns into long-term wealth delay.
If you found this eye-opening, don't wait until your mortgage application gets denied to take action. Start fixing your financial profile today. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real-world money strategies. And comment below, what's one financial habit you're changing starting this month?